Good evening, hello and welcome. You're watching CNN News 18. This is Nation at 5 with me, Poonam Burde. There's lots lined up for you on this edition, but let's get you started with the focus at this hour, and that's the diplomatic standoff between India and Canada, which is refusing to die down. Breaking news that we are now getting to you is that it looks like Justin Trudeau and his administration are towing the pro-Khalistani line, the line that seems to be fed to them there, because we now have a poster that has come up where pro-Khalistani sympathizers are alleging that their community is under attack in British Columbia especially, and they want the Trudeau government to now act. Khalistanis are now claiming that they're under threat. They have in fact blamed the administration, the local one there, the police, for inaction and for the threats that their community is receiving. Remember, it's not the entire Sikh community, it's just one element there, one portion of the entire Sikh community. The pro-Khalistani sympathizers that find no backing within the larger community that are now coming out to make this allegation, to accuse the Trudeau government and blame them for their inaction. In fact, going ahead to blame India, just like Justin Trudeau, the Canadian Prime Minister, did not too long ago, for the kind of attacks that are happening there in Canada. This notice that you see on your screens is from British Columbia, where these pro-Khalistani sympathizers are now alleging that their life is at risk, that they are under threat, and the Trudeau administration needs to wake up and act. Abhishek will be joining us shortly to get us more details of what exactly is transpiring. But to put this in perspective, if you remember, not too long ago, Justin Trudeau, the Canadian Prime Minister, stood up in his parliament and went on to blame India for the death of a Khalistani sympathizer, Hardeep Nijjar. Now we have pro-Khalistani sympathizers, that very section, come out and blame the Trudeau administration for not doing enough in keeping them safe. They too are now blaming India. It's interesting how the same kind of words are being used against India by both these Khalistani sympathizers and that one section in Canada and the Trudeau administration. Abhishek, my colleague, now joining us, getting us more details. Abhishek, the Canadian administration was forced to tone down. Their demeanor had to change because India was tightening the screws diplomatically. It looks like domestically also Justin Trudeau is now going to be facing the ire of these pro-Khalistani groups. A catch-22 situation for him.
Well, this is a very tricky situation for Justin Trudeau government. In fact, for whom he has been kind of batting for all his political life. Now they are also not kind of siding along with him on the, at a time when he's politically in a very troubled situation. This is what has happened in Canada. We have seen, recently the tweets of Jagmeet Singh, who happens to be one of his close partner and ally also. He has also been kind of questioning Justin Trudeau government's policies regarding the higher inflation, cost of living, and all the economic mess that has been troubling Canadian people for a very long time, and which has become an issue also in the recent days, which eventually bringing down the popularity ranking of Canadian Prime Minister as well. So now Khalistanis who have been a trouble for India, the terrorists and the violent ideology that they have been propagating from the soil of Canada against India, that is something that India has also tried to make aware the Justin Trudeau government, but he has not paid heed to that, and now these are the same people who are also trying to corner him politically in the domestic politics of Canada as well.
And it's interesting the kind of language that has been used in this particular notice that has been put up, and the kind of language that Justin Trudeau has used back then when he declared that it was India that was to blame for Nijjar's death. It's the same kind of allegation that these pro-Khalistani groups are also making. Looks like somebody is reading off someone else's script. We don't know which way that is really going there.
Well, at least with the latest allegation that is coming from the same Khalistani quarters in Canada, one thing is clear that India has alleged on the Canadian soil, that it has become a hotspot for organized crime, gun violence, drug cartel, and several illicit trading that is happening, and several people who have been sympathizers with the Khalistani group have been involved in this. The latest kind of alarming, or the warning that is coming from these Khalistani quarters is that Sikhs in British Columbia have received safety warnings, and they are the most vulnerable right now. We know a very concentrated population of Sikhs are in British Columbia, which has also been kind of a hotbed for Khalistani movement. And there are several places where these people or these violent agents have been getting shelters. Political patronage is one of the thing that is very much evident. Also, we have seen Prime Minister Trudeau and his government not taking any action against these people. and now the same people are raising questions on the overall security scenario and saying that Sikhs in British Columbia are being targeted and they are in the danger and the threat and intimidation is being used against them.
Right. Right, it'll be interesting to see how the British administration, I beg your pardon, the Canadian administration, their response to this entire allegation that has come to the fore. Do stay on with me, Abhishek, because we have more information that's now coming in. And India has made it very, very clear that we are not going to take these kind of allegations lying down, especially considering Canada is yet to give any proof of the allegations that they've been making. A government source is now telling us exactly why India is upset with Canada. There are specifically 4 reasons that have now been put out. This, of course, has been conveyed to the Canadian side, which prompted the Canadian minister yesterday to come out and say that let's talk about this in private. In fact, it was Canada who made a public statement first, but now that they realize that India is not going to take this lying down and we are going to give it back to them in equal measure, Canada is now seeking private talks with us. Abhishek continues to be with us here on this broadcast. Abhishek, there are several reasons why India is upset with Canada, and those reasons have been made very, very clear to them. There are 4 specifically, including, of course, the fact that pro-Khalistani sympathizers there are being sheltered. They're, in fact, even allowed to flourish there because there's absolutely no action against them.
Well, we have seen these same elements who have been branded as anti-India by the Indian government, who have been involved in terrorist and criminal activities from the soil of Canada, and they have been having some sort of nexus also with people in Punjab. But the Canadian authorities have been reluctant to act against them. And now the latest situation has been that the Canadian, ever since this diplomatic row has erupted between the two sides and India, kind of took very aggressive measures by issuing advice to people, stopping visa applications for the Canadian citizens coming to India, and asking also for the diplomatic strength and rank to be paired with the number of Indian diplomats present in Canada. So since then, the sense that the Canadian government is trying to do has been that they want to, constructively engage and have some sort of dialogue with India, because the diplomatic presence in India is very necessary to cooperate and to facilitate various and thousands of families, the Canadian families in India, Canadians who have been living in India, and also other multi-dimension of bilateral relationships that also should not be impacted. While being asked by, several of journalists asked Melina Joly, the Foreign Minister of Canada, how are they, taking this incidence of India asking the Canadian diplomats to leave Delhi. She said that I've been talking regularly on the issue, but some decisions or some conversations are best done in private. So this is what they have been saying, that they are not going to comment on the issue of diplomatic row publicly, and they have been in touch with the Indian government on the entire episode.
Right.
And it looks like the Canadian side is trying to scale down the entire episode.
Right, Abhishek, do stay on with me. Senior fellow, the ORF, Ishan Kishan, now joining us here on this broadcast. So thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18 on Nation at 5. We're seeing this diplomatic standoff only escalate between India and Canada. A public statement came to the fore from the Canadian Prime Minister, only to be toned down and later turned to let's have private talks, because India made it very, very clear that if you want to make public allegations, then we too will strike back.
Yeah, and I think the Canadians blew this right at the outset. If they wanted to have private conversations, then they should have continued with the private conversations. There are differences of opinion, and India had a lot of issues with the way the Canadians were soft peddling, in fact, encouraging. I would say even turning a blind eye, if not encouraging, to the activities of saboteurs and subversive elements who were active in India and working from Canada. So we had our problems, and if the Canadians had some, suspicions or had some accusations to make, they could have done this in private and we could have tried to sort it out, like mature nations would. But Canada wanted to play Pakistan, and Trudeau wanted to burnish his own politics back home. He wanted to, reach out and appease that guy Hagmeet Singh, whatever that guy's name is. And appease the Khalistani element, because he thinks that's his ticket to power. And then he shot his mouth off. And clearly India was not going to take this lying down. India had its own very serious grievances with the Trudeau regime in Canada and all their activities. So once you make these kind of public allegations, you try and cause reputational damage to India. If you think India is, one of those countries which has just been newly independent and still nursing a colonial hangover, then, as Putin says, maybe Mr. Trudeau has not gone to the right school, or he's not educated enough to know that the world has changed. And clearly there was going to be a pushback from India. That pushback is, India's making it very clear that the activities of certain quote-unquote Canadian diplomats in India, they are indulging in activities which they should not be indulging in, which is a very serious charge, for any country to make against another country. And if the Canadian diplomatic presence is being pared down, then this is something that the Canadians have brought upon themselves. This is nothing. I don't think anybody can blame India for what is happening.
Absolutely, it is for Canada to really introspect on how the last few weeks have gone and what really is happening right now and how much of it is their blame alone. But Srijan Sareen, thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18 and sharing your perspective. Now, we've seen crime take place in Canada unabated. Organized crime is something that happens because of political compulsions, is what S. Jaishankar had said a few days ago as well. In Brampton, we saw, in fact, firing take place there. There was crackdown that had to be done. At least 8 people were arrested. My colleague Sanjay Suri was there in Brampton taking stock of what happened afterwards, in the aftermath. Take a look at this report.
We're in a suburb of Brampton in Canada at the crossing of Brisdale Drive with Donald Stewart Road, a quiet new neighborhood. But on Monday night, shots were fired here. Police were called in. They arrived with what they called a tactical unit to deal with such cases. They raided a house and they arrested 8 persons inside there. The following day, they entered again, this time with a search warrant, searched the property and seized a 9mm Beretta pistol. 8 persons have now been charged, and these include Rajanpreet Singh, who has been charged with possession and storage of a loaded firearm. With 7 others, Jagdeep Singh, Ekamjot Randhawa, Manjinder Singh, Harpreet Singh, Ripanjot Singh, Jagandeep Singh and Lovepreet Singh. All of them have been charged with possession of a loaded firearm. Brampton, which lies just to the west of Toronto, has become quite the most explosive place in all of Canada for crime involving migrants from Punjab. The case is now being investigated by the 22 Division Criminal Investigation Bureau of the Peel Regional Police. Of course, every criminal action that may involve any person who happens to be Sikh is not for that reason necessarily Khalistani, but this without doubt is quite the hotbed for Khalistani activities in the eastern side of Canada. A good deal of the migration from Punjab is concentrated here, and almost before anyone could know it, it has become more Punjabi than Canadian. Brampton here almost has a Punjabi sound to it. Brampton, certainly Punjabi is the most spoken language you hear around here, but it's not just about being Punjabi. This has become quite a gad of the Khalistanis here. This is where the biggest so-called referendum organized by the SFJ took place, and without doubt support for that idea here among the Sikhs appears quite considerable. Increasingly more aggressive support for the idea of Khalistan together with rising criminality have become twin areas of concern.
Many of the Punjabis are unfortunately, so they are involved in the gangs, in the organized crimes, and even the drug dealing too. So which is a matter of concern, and I wish that there's a lot of politicians, there's many of the Sikh leadership, they always claim themselves to be the leaders of the Sikh community. Nobody dare to speak anything about these incidents.
Now, these pro-Khalistani sympathizers are not running amok just in Canada. We've seen such instances take place in the United Kingdom as well. In fact, the Indian High Commissioner there was at the receiving end of such an attack by pro-Khalistani sympathizers just a few days ago, which is why we now have the UK BJP that has requested the Rishi Sunak government there to ensure the safety of our diplomats. They've written a letter. This is by the President of Overseas Friends of the BJP in the United Kingdom that have now written this particular letter to the Sunak government asking for more safety for our diplomats to ensure that there is an complete end that is put to such kind of attacks by pro-Khalistani sympathizers. Abhishek, my colleague, now joining us, getting us more details of what exactly this letter entails. Yes, Abhishek.
Well, yes, the kind of threat and intimidation that was given to Indian High Commissioner Vikram Doraiswamy when he was visiting a Glasgow Gurudwara. In fact, he was invited to the Gurudwara itself. But then few Khalistani people rush out and they stop his car and threaten him and ask him to go back. This is what has been a concern of India, that how a diplomat is being treated by a person in UK and what kind of action is being taken against him. India has also raised the issue with the UK Foreign Office about the security concern that the Indian diplomats are facing in UK. We have seen several of, Vikram Doraiswamy, the High Commissioner of UK, his posters also being spread across social media, naming him for the involvement in killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar in Canada also. So Khalistani elements in UK are also trying to spread misinformation against Indian diplomats and trying to create a kind of hatred politics against Indians or Indian community or those at least who love India and try to keep their space in a very happy atmosphere. They are trying to create a wide divide, and this is what the BJP office in UK has also tried to escalate with the UK authorities, that there should be some action so that such events do not occur in future.
Right, Abhishek, thank you so much for getting us the latest on that. We'll keep an eye out on how the UK government reacts to this request that has come to the fore from the BJP there. Before now, we are shifting focus to the other big story that we're tracking here on Nation at 5, and that is a 5,000 crore scam that has now been unearthed. It was a 200 crore wedding that actually blew the lid of this alleged scam, which runs into 5,000 crores, is what the Enforcement Directorate believes, and they are now investigating this Mahadev app scam. There are promoters of this app who are absconding. Saurabh Chandrakar, the main accused, is believed to be in the wind. But it's important to know that there are several A-listers from Bollywood that are now unfortunately caught in this net. They have been summoned by the Enforcement Directorate. Many of them are not seen as an accused, but they're believed to be playing a crucial role as far as promotions for this particular app is goes, or the money that they received for certain appearances that they made. All of that is now under investigation as far as the Enforcement Directorate goes. All of this is going to happen in Chhattisgarh when Ranbir Kapoor, Huma Qureshi, Shraddha Kapoor all appear before the Enforcement Directorate. Many of them were summoned for today. They did not appear today. They've sought more time. Comedian Kapil Sharma is also one of those who have been summoned by the Enforcement Directorate. Let's now take a look of how exactly this entire web was working. Now, the offices of this was based in Chhattisgarh, which is where the probe is currently happening. That is where the questioning will happen too. But this particular company was based in Dubai. It was in UAE, where the app's central office, the central head office was actually there. That is where they operated from. In Chhattisgarh is where the Hawala money was allegedly funneled through, which is why the investigation is happening in Chhattisgarh. There are several other places where the panel operators of this app in India were residing. Mumbai, Pune, Raipur, Bhopal, Kolkata is where the network of this panel operators was operating from. Delhi, Mumbai, of course, being the main cities where this was operating from. There were several other countries from where the money was allegedly being routed through Hawala channels. Nepal is one of those countries. Pakistan, Sri Lanka, where this gambling app is active as well. That is where this betting app, I beg your pardon, is active as well. From there, we've seen the money being allegedly funneled and via Hawala channels is what the Enforcement Directorate believes. Yasha, my colleague, now joining us, getting us more details where the investigation stands currently. Yasha, first of all, there were several Bollywood celebrities who were summoned for today. None of them appeared before the Enforcement Directorate, seeking more time. Do we have a timeline, or have there been fresh summons that have been issued to any of them?
So as of now, of the 5 celebrities who were issued summons, there were 4 of them who replied to ED. Ranbir Kapoor has sent a mail to ED asking for 10 days of time. Apart from that, Huma Qureshi and Hina Khan, they've also sought 7 days, that is 1 week. and Kapil Sharma has also asked for 7 days. Now this is because Kapil Sharma said that he's in a shoot outside the country. Apart from that, Hina Khan and Huma Qureshi have said that they cannot be present for personal reasons. So as of now, no fresh summons have been issued to any of them. But we'll have to likely wait for the next few days, because all of them have reached out to ED and have sought some more time. So ED, after understanding their entire request, would then issue further summons or take any action on this regards. But apart from that, what we understand is that considering all of these people were asked to be present before the Enforcement Directorate, they were asked to be present as witnesses in this case, wherein their statement would quite be instrumental to understanding the entire money trail and the modus operandi that Mahadev app promoters were using, and the money that was coming into them, whether it was through Hawala transactions, and how was that being further sent to influencers, to celebrities and to actors.
Right.
So yes, there has been no statement from any of these celebrities or actors so far out publicly or through their PR agencies, but they've just communicated with Enforcement Directorate. Yes.
Right, Yasha. Thank you so much for getting us the latest on that. With that, it's time for a quick break here on this edition of Nation at 5. But there's lots lined up for you on the other side. Do stay tuned.
To him when he was promoting this particular app. This entire racket actually came to forefront after one of the promoters' wedding in Dubai, in UAE, caught attention. About 250 crore was spent on that wedding. Cash payment in dirham was made. The wedding planner was also paid in cash worth, hundreds of crores of rupees. There was a private jet that was hired, and that money also from Nagpur all the way to Dubai. Family members of Saurabh Chandrakar, one of the promoters, they all flew down in a private jet. Ravi Uppal is the second promoter. These two are based in UAE. The headquarters of this app is in UAE, but we are told that there is also a Pakistan connection. These two promoters were trying to, launch a similar betting platform in Pakistan as well, and that has set the alarm bells ringing. Why is ED concerned? Why is government concerned? Because on the face of it, this looks like just an organized crime racket, but could it have links with terror? The moment you talk about betting and you have links with Pakistan, automatically the alarm bells are ringing here in Delhi. So that is exactly what has happened in this case. Ranbir Kapoor may not be the first and the only one from Bollywood who will be summoned. A list of about 17 people, Bollywood A-listers, who have helped this app by promoting them or participating in that high-profile wedding, and all payments have been made through Hawala transactions. There are a number of Hawala operators also who are part of this racket. ED plans to question all of them to figure out what is the extent of this money laundering that has happened. 5,000 crore is the rough estimate, but the number could go up, is what ED officials say. They've already attached property worth 417 crore, arrested 4 people, carried out searches at multiple locations. There is a non-bailable warrant from a special PMLA court in Chhattisgarh, in Raipur, against the promoters, based on which ED is also wanting to get a red corner notice issued. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. What the ED officials say is that this betting app and the way it was operating, the tentacles of it could be running deep into Indian society, from the top level of Bollywood right up to slum dwellers in cities like Mumbai and Delhi. Mahadev betting app has once again grabbed headlines because Enforcement Directorate has asked actor Ranbir Kapoor to be present before the Enforcement Directorate and answer some questions. But how does this app really work? What is this app all about? As per Enforcement Directorate, which has been probing the Mahadev betting app, this is an umbrella syndicate which provides online betting agencies, platforms, and betting happens on everything under the sun. It could be on political results as far as elections are concerned. It could be on the weather on that particular day. It could be cricket matches or the success of a particular Bollywood film. So anything that you want to bet on, Mahadev app actually provided you some online platform to put your money on. How was this app really functioning? What the ED investigation suggests so far is that the head office of this app is in UAE, but its tentacles are spread across the world. There is a connection with Netherlands, Sri Lanka, Nepal, UAE of course, and then there are operators in Delhi and Mumbai in India who are helping this app operate. The modus operandi seems to be twofold. One, slum dwellers, people who are in the low income group, mostly unsuspecting people, their UPI IDs are taken by those associated with this app. In return, they are paid some money, but their UPI ID is then misused to launder money. The second way in which this app works is that if you want to bet or if you want to participate in online betting, you are given numbers of call centers. These call centers, have been traced to various countries, Netherlands, Nepal, Sri Lanka, UAE, to name a few. And when you call these call centers, you are sent a WhatsApp number. On this WhatsApp numbers, bank transaction UPI details are to be shared, and once the bettor actually shares his UPI or bank details, then some money is transferred into his or her account, making that player satisfied that he is getting a return for the kind of money that he has placed on the betting app. But that is only step one. What really happens after that? There are a panel of operators associated with this betting app. The numbers being put forward right now is 4,000 to 5,000 panel operators, each one of whom are earning about 150 to 200 crores through this modus operandi. And the ratio of profit sharing with the Mahadev app promoters is 70-30. So 70% of the total earning is transferred to the promoters, 30% of it is kept with these panel operators who are associated. That is broadly the modus operandi on which the Mahadev app is working. Even payments that are being made, there are a lot of celebrity endorsements to make this app popular, make this gaming app popular, betting app popular. There are celebrity endorsements, and ED suspects that they are all paid through Hawala channels. So the money that they are fraudulently earning, they are trying to round trip it and pay it to celebrities via Hawala channels. That is what Ranbir Kapoor is likely to be asked as to how was the payment made to him when he was promoting this particular app. This entire racket actually came to forefront after one of the promoters' wedding in Dubai, in UAE, caught attention. About 250 crore was spent on that wedding. Cash payment in dirham was made. The wedding planner was also paid in cash worth, hundreds of crores of rupees. There was a private jet that was hired, and that money also from Nagpur all the way to Dubai. Family members of Saurabh Chandrakar, one of the promoters, they all flew down in a private jet. Ravi Uppal is the second promoter. These two are based in UAE. The headquarters of this app is in UAE, but we are told that there is also a Pakistan connection. These two promoters were trying to, launch a similar betting platform in Pakistan as well, and that has set the alarm bells ringing. Why is ED concerned? Why is government concerned? Because on the face of it, this looks like just an organized crime racket, but could it have links with terror? The moment you talk about betting and you have links with Pakistan, automatically the alarm bells are ringing here in Delhi. So that is exactly what has happened in this case. Ranbir Kapoor may not be the first and the only one from Bollywood who will be summoned. A list of about 17 people.
Welcome back. The ICC ODI Men's World Cup is underway. India's opener match against Australia is in 2 days from now. It's happening in Chepauk in Chennai. My colleague Shivani Gupta is reporting live from there, getting us the mood and feel. We are going to be seeing the press conference of Team India of Rohit Sharma happen in just a few minutes from now. Shivani, coming straight to you of what's expected. The big question, of course, is going to be on Shubman Gill.
Yes, absolutely. Just when you thought that, the campaign as it is about to begin for India at the Chepauk Stadium on Sunday versus Australia is all set, India is the team to beat, and everything in preparation from the Asia Cup onwards, and the series against Australia has been near perfect for India. The team was finally settled. But just when you thought things were fine, you've got this dengue scare for our top batsman, our hottest batsman of the year and going into the World Cup, Shubman Gill. So we are about to go for the press conference that is scheduled for the Team India in a short while from now. And of course, the top question will be, one, what is the condition of Shubman Gill? How serious is the dengue or the flu that he is currently suffering from? Is he ruled out of the first match, which is in 2 days' time still, versus Australia, their World Cup opener? And if he is ruled out, then exactly what is the combination that the Indian team is looking at? Will it be Ishan Kishan or KL Rahul that will open with Rohit Sharma? So I think this has just come at the most unopportune time for India, even before they can really get settled in the World Cup against a top side like Australia, someone that has won the World Cup the most times. You know, for your top batsman, for your hottest batsman to be out, which is looking like is what going to be, it's a big setback for India. The only silver lining is that India already had a problem of plenty as far as their batting order or their bowling order is concerned, and at least this way they do have backups, especially for their own.
Sorry to interrupt you there, Shivani, but from cricket we're moving across to Asian Games where India has struck gold, and this is by beating China as far as the men's hockey is concerned. This is India's 4th gold medal as far as hockey at the Asian Games is concerned. India has trumped Japan 5-1 to win this gold. We won several other medals at the Asian Games in the men's hockey, several silvers and bronze to India's tally. But this is going to be a memorable gold as far as beating Japan is concerned. They've beaten the defending champions, which is what makes it even more special, putting the tally past the 100 mark as far as the overall medal tally is concerned for India at the Asian Games. Yash, my colleague, now joining us, getting us more details on this. An extremely significant moment, a special one, 4th gold as far as men's hockey is concerned at the Asian Games, Yash. But the overall tally is way past 100 now.
Well, absolutely. It's a big, momentous moment for the country, in fact. And this win is actually a crucial one because, in fact, it comes at a time when India is already very up on the charts. In fact, with this gold medal, once again, the mettle of the Indian hockey will be proven. In fact, if we talk about the players who scored maximum, in fact, Harmanpreet remains to be the one leading India to this very win. In fact, this is actually one of its kind win for the country. And in fact, on the last, when the last goal happened, on that very good, the Japanese side very well attempted to enter the Indian D, but the bait was actually very much countered by the Indian forwards. And in fact, when that was the very moment when India clinched that very goal. So this is a momentous moment for the country. And in fact, this comes at a very crucial time when India's tally is actually battling to go up a notch in this entire game.
Right, Yash, do stay on with me. Former goalkeeper of the Indian hockey team, Ashish Ballal, now joining us here on this broadcast. Thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. Your first reaction to this 4th gold as far as Asian Games hockey is concerned?
Absolutely fantastic news for all hockey lovers and hockey fans in India and the whole world. One hockey gold is equivalent to many other awards because I think India is basically identified with hockey, and it's amazing to see the victory, the margin of victory, and the way the boys play. It was fantastic, phenomenal, and hats off to Srijesh, Manpreet and Harmanpreet. I think they've led with strong leadership, and I think it's a fantastic moment for all hockey lovers.
Absolutely. We qualify for the Paris Olympics 2024, but the fact that we've beaten the defending champions 5-1, that's something that makes us even more special, isn't it?
Absolutely. The scoreline says it all, the sheer dominance of Indian hockey, and we have got good signs ahead because it only gives them the confidence to prepare directly for the Olympics and not the qualifier. And it's good times for hockey, and I hope most of these team is retained and it is groomed for the Olympics.
Absolutely, Mr. Balal. Thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18 and sharing with us in this special moment as we celebrate India's performance in Hangzhou at the Asian Games in China. The medal tally overall is past 100 for India. It's raining gold really, and as far as men's hockey is concerned, this is the 4th gold for the men's hockey team at the Asian Games. We of course now qualify automatically for the Paris Olympics. They do not have to play any more qualifiers there. The fact that the gold is in our kitty with Asian Games, we automatically qualify for the Paris Olympics 2024. It really was the dominance of the team right from the start. We saw the defending champions being thrashed there. 5-1 was the final score of the scoreboard at the final bell. And Yash continues to be with us here on this broadcast. Yash, it's going to be definitely a very, very significant moment there as far as the entire team in Hangzhou is concerned.
Well, absolutely, Poonam, because this win comes at a time when India was trying to for the Olympics, and in fact that thing is now final. In fact, the stellar performance by the Indian side, including Hardeep Singh, in fact was the performance which actually crushed Japan in this nail biter. And in fact, like you rightly mentioned, it's a momentous feat for the country, and in fact fans are celebrating across the country and across the world. In fact, social media is also flooded with congratulatory messages for our heroes, because this is in fact one of those wins which comes at a time when India tallies.
Sorry to interrupt you there, Yash, but former India hockey coach and Olympian Ranbir Singh now joining us on the broadcast. So thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. Your first reaction to this gold?
Well, it's a wonderful achievement, I would say. We missed it last time just because of switching off for a few minutes, but this time we went all guns blazing. No chance for Japan at all. It's not just about winning the Asian Games gold. It's about qualifying for the Olympic Games in style as Asian champions. We won the Asian Champions Trophy, and now we won the Asian Games. It's a great feeling. So proud of the boys.
So were you watching the match while it was in play? Defending champions Japan, there were absolutely no match for India. The dominance continued right from the start, 5-1 at the end of the tournament.
Well, it was on the expected lines that India is the best side, being world number 3, and also the way India have been playing this tournament. They have left no team. They have shown no mercy on any team. In the pool match also, they beat Japan so comfortably. But when it comes to final, it's always a different ball game. Teams have different plans, and Japan, as such, is a very tricky team. They had their plan in place against all teams except India. So yes, the first quarter they could hold, they could defend well, but how long? It was so difficult to keep this team, Indian team, holding, because they have the best penalty corner conversion. They have the best attacking line now working. Look at the goals Mandeep scored, Harmanpreet, Varun, Rohit Amidas in penalty corners. It's an amazing feat, I would say. They are moving so well, so well.
Absolutely, and the fact that this automatically qualifies us for the 2024 Paris Olympics, would this be the same team? Would this be your dream team for the Olympics as well, sir?
Yes. We all look forward to our team repeating the same performance what they did in Tokyo. Should be better. We won a bronze medal, and that momentum has to go on. Indian hockey is on the rise. After a long time, we could see that consistency which had been missing for some years in the past, but now it's there. There could be some changes. It's a coach's call for sure, but yes, this is a team which can deliver.
Ranbir Singh, thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. This team can deliver. They did deliver as far as the Asian Games are concerned. We definitely would hope that this kind of success repeats at the 2024 Paris Olympics as well. But this is a moment to cherish. It is a moment to celebrate. It is India's 22nd gold at the Asian Games this time around. 4th gold as far as men's hockey is concerned. It is, of course, reigning medals for India. Our tally is past 100 now. We've had several other athletics in which Indian champs have also shown. But as far as the men's hockey is concerned, defending champions Japan were absolutely clueless as far as India's dominance is concerned. Yash continues to be with us. And Yash, we're talking about this team. Ranbir Singh, the former coach, didn't really want to perhaps get into whether there should be changes as far as this team is concerned or no. But many would believe that this really is the dream team that we should go with as far as Olympics is concerned as well.
Well, absolutely, Poonam, and that has been proven in this match and the previous matches how Indian side has performed really well. In fact, when it comes to the forward post as well, in fact, on the sidelines, the boys were picking the ball really well, and in fact, because of that, we have seen how India was able to clinch that very medal in different games. In fact, not only with Japan. In fact, if we see different earlier matches also, we have seen how Indian side forwards have also performed really well. In fact, the ball is connecting really well. So this seems that there is a coordination amongst the team really well. And in fact, being any player of the team, they are all performing really well.
Absolutely, Yash. Thank you so much for joining out with the latest on that. It is raining gold for India at the Asian Games. 4th gold as far as Asian Games history is concerned with men's hockey. 22nd gold overall. The tally is past 100. It's only going to, we're hoping that it's only going to increase. It's onwards and upwards from here. But Yash, thank you so much. With that, it's time for a quick break here on this edition. Back in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Co-powered by ministers who have helped this app by promoting them or participating in that high-profile wedding, and all payments have been made through Hawala transactions. There are a number of Hawala operators also who are part of this racket. ED plans to question all of them to figure out what is the extent of this money laundering that is happening. 5,000 crore is the rough estimate, but the number could go up, is what ED officials say. They've already attached property worth 417 crore, arrested 4 people, carried out searches at multiple locations. There is a non-bailable warrant from a special PMLA court in Chhattisgarh, in Raipur, against the promoters, based on which ED is also wanting to get a red corner notice issued. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. What the ED officials say is that this betting app and the way it was operating, the tentacles of it could be running deep into Indian society, from the top level of Bollywood right up to slum dwellers in cities like Mumbai and Delhi. Mahadev betting app has once again grabbed headlines because Enforcement Directorate has asked actor Ranbir Kapoor to be present before the Enforcement Directorate and answer some questions. But how does this app really work? What is this app all about? As per Enforcement Directorate, which has been probing the Mahadev betting app, this is an umbrella syndicate which provides online betting agencies, platforms, and betting happens on everything under the sun. It could be on political results as far as elections are concerned. It could be on the weather on that particular day. It could be cricket matches or the success of a particular Bollywood film. So anything that you want to bet on, Mahadev app actually provided you some online platform to put your money on. How was this app really functioning? What the ED investigation suggests so far is that the head office of this app is in UAE, but its tentacles are spread across the world. There is a connection with Netherlands, Sri Lanka, Nepal, UAE of course, and then there are operators in Delhi and Mumbai in India who are helping this app operate. The modus operandi seems to be twofold. One, slum dwellers, people who are in the low income group, mostly unsuspecting people, their UPI IDs are taken by those associated with this app. In return, they are paid some money, but their UPI ID is then misused to launder money. The second way in which this app works is that if you want to bet or if you want to participate in online betting, you are given numbers of call centers. These call centers, have been traced to various countries, Netherlands, Nepal, Sri Lanka, UAE, to name a few. And when you call these call centers, you are sent a WhatsApp number. On this WhatsApp numbers, bank transaction UPI details are to be shared, and once the bettor actually shares his UPI or bank details, then some money is transferred into his or her account, making that player satisfied that he is getting a return for the kind of money that he has placed on the betting app. But that is only step one. What really happens after that? There are a panel of operators associated with this betting app. The numbers being put forward right now is 4,000 to 5,000 panel operators, each one of whom are earning about 150 to 200 crores through this modus operandi. And the ratio of profit sharing with the Mahadev app promoters is 70-30. So 70% of the total earning is transferred to the promoters. 30% of it is kept with these panel operators who are associated. That is broadly the modus operandi on which the Mahadev app is working. Even payments that are being made, there are a lot of celebrity endorsements to make this app popular, make this gaming app popular, betting app popular. There are celebrity endorsements, and ED suspects that they are all paid through Hawala channels. So the money that they are fraudulently earning, they are trying to round trip it and pay it to celebrities via Hawala channels. That is what Ranbir Kapoor is likely to be asked as to how was the payment made to him when he was promoting this particular app. This entire racket actually came to forefront after one of the promoters' wedding in Dubai, in the UAE, caught attention. About 250 crore was spent on that wedding. Cash payment in dirham was made. The wedding planner was also paid in cash worth, hundreds of crores of rupees. There was a private jet that was hired, and that money also from Nagpur all the way to Dubai. Family members of Saurabh Chandrakar, one of the, promoters, they all flew down in a private jet. Ravi Uppal is the second promoter. These two are based in UAE. The headquarters of this app is in UAE, but we are told that there is also a Pakistan connection. These two promoters were trying to, launch a similar betting platform in Pakistan as well, and that has set the alarm bells ringing. Why is ED concerned? Why is government concerned? Because on the face of it, this looks like just an organized crime racket, but could it have links with terror? The moment you talk about betting and you have links with Pakistan, automatically the alarm bells are ringing here in Delhi. So that is exactly what has happened in this case. Ranbir Kapoor may not be the first and the only one from Bollywood who will be summoned. A list of about 17 people, Bollywood A-listers, who have helped this app by promoting them or participating in that high-profile wedding, and all payments have been made through Hawala transactions. There are a number of Hawala operators also who are part of this racket. ED plans to question all of them to figure out what is the extent of this money laundering that is happening. 5,000 crore is the rough estimate, but the number could go up, is what ED officials say. They've already attached property worth 417 crore, arrested 4 people, carried out searches at multiple locations. There is a non-bailable warrant from a special PMLA court in Chhattisgarh, in Raipur, against the promoters, based on which ED is also wanting to get a red corner notice issued. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. What the ED officials say is that this betting app and the way it was operating, the tentacles of it could be running deep into Indian society, from the top level of Bollywood right up to slum dwellers in cities like Mumbai and Delhi. Mahadev betting app has once again grabbed headlines because Enforcement Directorate has asked actor Ranbir Kapoor to be present before the Enforcement Directorate and answer some questions. But how does this app really work? What is this app all about? As per Enforcement Directorate, which has been probing the Mahadev betting app, this is an umbrella syndicate which provides online betting agencies, platforms, and betting happens on everything under the sun.
Welcome back to Nation at 5 with me, Poonam Burde. Unfortunately, 19 lives have been lost after a cloudburst triggered flash floods in Sikkim. Many roads have been inundated, villages have been washed away, properties worth crores have been damaged. There are still several tens of people that are unaccounted for, and rescue operations are taking place on a war footing. CNN News 18 is on ground in different parts of Sikkim, getting you a situation check of what exactly is remaining now in the aftermath. Take a look.
The Sikkim flash floods wreaked havoc and have left behind the pictures of devastations. I am here at the Bordong area. This is the area where the army camp was washed away when the Tista river overflowed because of the flash flood. You can see the pictures of army still carrying on the rescue operations. This is more than 48 hours post the destruction, but the army rescue operation is still on. The river, the water of the Tisa river has receded, but you can still see the picture of devastation, and army is trying to dig that area where the river brought in a lot of sand and mud along with it. Although one of the Jawans was found alive and he is under observation in hospital, but the rest of the Jawans are still missing and the army rescue operations is on. सिक्किम में आए तबाही के तूफान ने पीछे छोड़ी है ये बर्बादी की तस्वीरें। देखिए, हम इस समय सिक्किम में ग्राउंड जीरो पर रंगपो में हैं और तीस्ता वैली के निकट जो भी जगह पड़ी हैं सबका यही हाल है। देखिए ये तस्वीरें, कहाँ आप देखिए बड़ी बड़ी गाड़ियां यहाँ पर धंस चुकी हैं, मकानों के हिस्से धंस चुके हैं, मकानों के भीतर जो है वो मिट्टी बालू घुस चुकी है और लोग जो है अपना घर छोड़कर अचानक जाने को मजबूर हुए। नदी अपने साथ जो है कीचड़ और साथ ही रेत लेकर आई है जिसे पीछे छोड़ गई है। वहाँ लोगों का अब भी जाना मुश्किल है। दलदल जैसा जो यहाँ पर माहौल है वो बन गया है। फिलहाल जो है सरकार पूरी कोशिश कर रही है कि लोगों तक राहत बचाव पहुँच सके। सिक्किम से पश्चिम बंगाल को जोड़ने वाले नेशनल हाईवे की देखिए तस्वीरें। पूरा जो रास्ता है, पूरी सड़क धुल गई है यहाँ पर और न सिर्फ धुल गई है, अब सिर्फ कीचड़, रेत, पानी जो कि लोगों के घरों में अब भी घुसा हुआ है। आप देखिए लोग अपने घरों को छोड़कर बाहर आकर बैठे हैं। हालांकि आपको बता दें कि राज्य सरकार ने लोगों को घरों से पहले ही निकाल लिया, रिलीफ शेल्टर में लेकर गए। मलबा ही मलबा आपको हर तरफ नजर आएगा और चाहे घर हो चाहे दुकानें हो। हम एक बार लोगों को यहाँ पर हटाकर दिखाएंगे। देखिए दुकान के भीतर भी आपको कीचड़ नजर आएगा, रेत नजर आएगी। कहाँ तीस्ता इस समय भी अपने रौद्र रूप में है लेकिन नीचे ही बह रही है। लेकिन जब ये फ्लैश फ्लड आया तो आधी रात जब लोग सो रहे थे घरों में, उस दौरान ये फ्लैश फ्लड आया और ये पूरा इलाका देखिए, ये यहाँ ऊपर तक पानी भर गया। अब भी यहाँ से कई लोग जो हैं वो अपने घरों से कीचड़ और पानी वो बाहर निकाल रहे हैं लगातार और मलबा ही मलबा, पूरी सड़कें धुल गई हैं, निगल गई है तीस्ता जो है वो पूरी तरह इन सड़कों को।
जहाँ पर मैं अभी खड़ा हूँ वो सिंगताम के पास गोलीटार एरिया में हूँ। मैं आपको ग्राउंड रिपोर्ट दिखाना चाहता हूँ कि आप ये जो देख सकते हैं, ये जो बिल्डिंग है 2 फ्लोर से नीचे पूरे तरह का डिस्ट्रक्शन हो चुका है और आप ये सभी बिल्डिंग आप देख सकते हैं कि 2 फ्लोर से ज्यादा डिस्ट्रक्शन हो चुका है। और ये जो आप टिस्टा रिवर देख रहे हैं, ये टिस्टा रिवर इतना ज्यादा भयंकर रूप ले लिया था कल सुबह 1:30 AM को, तो ये सारा घर डिस्ट्रक्शन हो चुका है। ये जो सिंगताम का जो बिल्कुल ही सामने है वहां पर एक सिंगताम ब्रिज था, जो इंद्रेनी ब्रिज करके एक प्रचलित ब्रिज था, जो एक बड़ा सा ब्रिज है वो अभी नहीं रहा। वो वाटर लेवल यहाँ से भी ऊपर तक आ चुका था। ये गोलीटार के नीचे एरिया में ज्यादा से ज्यादा अभी भी फंसे हुए हैं करके यहाँ का लोकल और पब्लिक हमको इंफॉर्मेशन दे रहे हैं। और आप ये देख सकते हैं जो एक अंडर कंस्ट्रक्शन एक ब्रिज था वो भी तबाही हो चुका है और वो इंडियन ब्रिज का पार्ट आप वहां पर देख सकते हैं। तो मैं जहां पर यहाँ खड़ा हूँ वो एक टाइम पे इतना प्लेन एरिया था और आप ये घर देख सकते हैं कि यहाँ भी 2 फ्लोर से नीचे तक का सभी घर डिस्ट्रक्शन हो चुका है। तो मैं अभी ये गोलीटार के पिछले भाग का वॉक थ्रू आपको मैं दिखा रहा हूँ। ये अनुमान लगा सकते हैं कि गवर्नमेंट ऑफ सिक्किम की तरह से कोई भी एक स्टेटमेंट नहीं आया है कि कितने महीने लगेंगे ये सब बालू इकट्ठा और क्लियर करने में। तो आप ये देख सकते हैं एक मंदिर है, जो मंदिर पूरी तरह से तहस नहस हो चुका है और ये घर वगैरह मंदिर सभी किसी, ये जो क्लाउड बर्स्ट हुआ था सिक्किम में तो इसने बहुत ही एक भयंकर रूप ले लिया था।
तो रफ असेसमेंट जो हमारे चेक पोस्ट के डाटा से जो हमें अवेलेबल है, लगभग 3000 टूरिस्ट वहाँ लाचेन और लाचुंग में स्ट्रैंडेड हैं और इसके अलावा लगभग 700-800 ड्राइवर्स भी होंगे जिनकी गाड़ियां गई हुई हैं। लगभग उसमें 3000 में 150 लोग शायद मोटरसाइकिल से गए हैं जो अपने आर्मी और एयरफोर्स के हेलीकॉप्टर के थ्रू हम इवैक्यूएट करेंगे। और जो एक सूचना इसमें और मैं देना चाहूंगा कि जो लाचेन लाचुंग में लोग हैं, आर्मी ने अपनी कम्युनिकेशन लिंक जो उपलब्ध है अभी वॉइस ओवर इंटरनेट, उसके थ्रू उन लोगों के परिवार से उनकी बातचीत करा दी है जिससे उनके परिवार को उनकी कुशलता के बारे में जानकारी मिल चुकी है।
Moving on now, battle lines have been drawn between the Congress and the BJP. It's not just for the upcoming assembly elections in 5 states, but the big battle for 2024 as well. And it's a poster war between the two parties. We saw one poster that was put out by the Congress party that showed the Prime Minister as a Danav, to which the BJP put out a poster showing Rahul Gandhi as Ravan. And that has now triggered a full-blown political war with not just those two parties, but their allies as well. Listen in to some of those reactions.
प्रधानमंत्री जी के बारे में कोई आज से थोड़ी चल रहा है। 2007 से जब सोनिया गांधी जी ने प्रधानमंत्री जी के बारे में बोला था, मौत के सौदागर शब्द, तब से चल रहा है। और प्रधानमंत्री जी के बारे में तो आपको पता ही है, जब उनसे पूछा गया था विदेश में कि आपने, अब तो 9.5 साल हो गए, उस समय शायद 6 ही साल हुए थे, कि आप 24/7 काम करते हैं तो इतनी ऊर्जा कहाँ से लाते हैं, तो उन्होंने यही जवाब दिया था ना कि रोज 1 से 1.5 किलो गाली खाता हूँ और उससे ऊर्जा पाता हूँ, फिर आपकी सेवा में लग जाता हूँ। तो वो जितना भी मोदी जी के लिए नफरत देते चले जाते हैं, उतनी ही मोदी जी की पॉपुलैरिटी बढ़ती चली जाती है।
राहुल गांधी को आप डरने लगे हैं, ये बड़ी बात है। भारतीय जनता पार्टी, नरेंद्र मोदी जी, अमित शाह जी राहुल गांधी को डरने लगे हैं। ये आपकी 2024 की हार सुनिश्चित करती है। रावण से क्या होता है? रावण और राम का युद्ध इस देश में हुआ है। रावण एक प्रवृत्ति है, विकृति है, जो आप में भी है, बीजेपी में तो सबसे ज्यादा रावण है।
They are provoking those kind of people to do violence against Mr. Rahul Gandhi. Mr. Rahul Gandhi is a leader who has lost his father as well as grandmother Indira Gandhi ji and Rajiv Gandhi ji for violence, and this kind of promotional things from a national party is unfortunate and condemnable thing. We need to, I hope that it has the approval of Prime Minister Modi and it has the approval of Nadda, President Mr. Nadda also. They should answer it or they should apologize for it. This kind of violent behavior towards the opposition leaders, particularly Mr. Rahul Gandhi ji, is unacceptable.
जो राम के नाम पे आए थे, उस राम राज्य में, नरेंद्र मोदी जी की हुकूमत में, देश का 80 करोड़ हिंदू मजबूर है झोला लेके लाइनों में राशन कलेक्ट करने में। यही राम राज्य है। आप रावण कहिए, आप सुपनखा कहिए, हम तो आपकी मेंटेलिटी जानते हैं। आपने संसद में महिला को सुपनखा भी तो कहा। तो जो राम के नाम पे आए थे, देखा गया कि उन्होंने अदानी का काम किया। तो जिस तरह की बातें राहुल जी के लिए कही गई हैं, ये शोभा नहीं देती हैं भारतीय जनता पार्टी को।
राहुल गांधी जी के पीछे इतने ज्यादा सालों से पड़े रहे, इमेज खराब किया, अब इन्हीं की इमेज खराब हो रही है। फ्रस्ट्रेशन में जिस तरह से चित्रण किया है, 7 सिरों वाला है, और वो मोदी जी ऐसा है। ये चरित्र और ये कार्यकलाप मोदी जी हैं। जहाँ भी जाते हैं, कहीं पर मुसलमानों के खिलाफ बोल देते हैं, जहर उगलते हैं। बहुरूपिया सिर वाले ये मोदी जी ही हैं।
बड़े दुर्भाग्य की बात है कि इस तरह के स्टेटमेंट दिए जाते हैं, और ये केवल और केवल भारतीय जनता पार्टी की बौखलाहट है, जो राहुल गांधी जी के बारे में इस तरह का स्टेटमेंट दे रहे हैं, तो पूर्णतः मिथ्या है, पूरी तरह से गलत बयान दिया गया है, और इसकी घोर निंदा की जानी चाहिए। जब से विशेष रूप से इंडिया अलायंस बनी है और आगे बढ़ी है, भारतीय जनता पार्टी को जाने का खतरा बढ़ गया। 2024 में जनता मान रही है कि इनकी विदाई है, तो उससे पहले बौखलाहट है, सिर्फ और केवल के बौखलाहट।
ये तो छोटे छोटे नौजवान लड़कों को, गरीब बच्चों को, जिनको नौकरी नहीं दे पाते हैं, उनको जाके बोलते हैं जय श्री राम बोल के मुसलमानों को लिंच करो। और जय श्री नाम के पावन नाम को भी ये इसी तरह इस्तेमाल करते हैं। तो क्या है ये लोग, कुछ शर्म आनी चाहिए। एक आदमी खड़ा है इस वक्त पूरे मुल्क में, गोडसे की आइडियोलॉजी सोच के खिलाफ खड़ा हो रहा है, आप उसी को रावण बताते हो। अरे आपने तो गोडसे की फौज पैदा कर दी, यहां से तो एक गांधी बनने की कोशिश कर रहा है, आपने तो गोडसे की फौज पैदा कर दी है।
सोच का दिवालियापन है। बीजेपी के पास कुछ मुद्दे नहीं रह गए लगता है। उनसे शुद्ध विचार और खुले विचार का व्यक्ति मैंने बहुत कम देखा है राहुल जी से, जो भी समय उनके साथ बिताने का लगा है। और उनकी जिज्ञासा और उनकी जानकारी धार्मिक दर्शन रीति नीति के बारे में जितनी है, हम आपकी शायद किसी के ना हो।
Good evening, hello and welcome. You're watching Plain Speak. I'm Anusha Soni. The trouble for Aam Aadmi Party MP Sanjay Singh continues to mount. Sanjay Singh's close aide was grilled by the Enforcement Directorate today. You remember last evening, Singh was produced before the Rouse Avenue Court where he was sent to 5 days of ED custody. At the heart of this matter is an intense political battle as well. Of course, the liquor scam probe here in the national capital, the excise policy scam concerns public money and must be thoroughly investigated. But the Aam Aadmi Party claims that this should be seen as an extension of the so-called policy of the BJP, which promotes vendetta against the opposition. How much of truth really does lie in these claims? If you take the case of Manish Sisodia, who has not been able to secure a bail so far, the BJP argues that the fact he is not able to get a bail is proof enough that there is prima facie evidence against him. The argument is also that Sanjay Singh will meet the same fate. On the other side is the argument that Sanjay Singh and his arrest was per se illegal and prima facie there are no grounds to take him into custody. The custodial interrogation of Sanjay Singh has been allowed. He is in Enforcement Directorate remand. But what exactly this case is about, let's try and separate the facts from the politics of it. CNN News 18 has accessed Sanjay Singh's remand note by the Enforcement